truly and honestly though, this really has been a whole game changer. I'm gonna cry. No, it's been a big deal. We've done this for 10 years and it's exhausting, and we work really hard, and we just have been to a place where we took our first vacation for the first time in 12 years. We had the time of our lives, and we felt like, okay, we can go off the farm for a minute. We can do it. And it's not always going to be perfect, and I think we're always going to worry, but I think anybody that has felt the way that we felt should do this program. Before we started using farmer metrics, tracking our finances, we strictly used QuickBooks, but that was a challenge for us because we have multiple businesses. So you couldn't see all the businesses and how they worked together. You could only look at them separately. Looking at our businesses all together, farmer metrics, you can click the box at the top and we have all of our data already put in there. So we can just check, we've got Fieldcraft Farms, Craft Family Properties, 5 Branches Inc. So we can check all of those together, see financially the big picture, and then if we want to keep the equity that we have in the land holding LLC, we can keep that checked, and then we can utilize that within Fieldcraft Farms, and then we can also utilize that within 5 branches. So we can check and uncheck all the pieces. We love it. For me personally, the moment was when we added on the apple orchard and the juice press. Things just the farm was mid-sized, and then it just got so much larger. In trying to manage multiple businesses and really getting a handle on where we are. 2024 was a tough year all the way around. Crop prices were terrible. We added on an orchard and a juice press, so there was a lot of expense there. So it was really daunting. Kyle's really good about having a big picture perspective, and it'll be okay and we'll get through it. I really like to look at numbers, and the numbers either make me terrified or make me feel better. But actually getting all of the data input into farmer metrics was a game changer personally for me because it made me feel better.
It was a game changer when I added in all the assets that we had and the assets that the bank were not capturing. When I added them in, it was more or less, there they are. There's where our problem was, and this is why we didn't have the leverage that we needed, because we weren't adding all that asset in.
The biggest impact is that we were very yes people to the bank. We just were so eager to get these deals closed that we didn't push back the way that we should have with interest rates. And because I think we felt like we were adding so much to our debt service, I think we felt that we weren't in a position to argue the interest rate. We were just so thankful that we got approved. And our mindset has totally changed on that now. I think really knowing, not to be cliche, but really knowing our worth made a huge difference in how we're going to handle business going forward. So we've had 2 different experiences walking into the bank. We had our 10-year anniversary in 24. So the first banker that we had was not very supportive. He really felt like we were just a big giant risk that wasn't going to really amount to a whole lot. So we asked our bank to have a different banker, and it was either that or we were going to jump ship. So actually the vice president took us on as his client. So we felt good about that. In the mix of all of that, one of the underwriters moved into a lending position, and I feel that he's been in our corner. There's also only so much he can do. He really fought hard to get the apple orchard and juice press deal done. He really went to bat for us because it was a hard no initially, and then he was able to push it through. So again, that kind of put us in that position of, we owe them. We should just be grateful that they said yes. But also, not having the balance sheet the way it should have been, I think he could have fought harder for us had we been more organized.
Yeah, I think if we were organized, our interest rates maybe would be a little different. Mm-hmm. They're very high right now because of the high risk in 2024 before we settled onto this farmer metric stuff. So once we get that really implemented into the banking side of it for the bank, I think things might change within a year, or we might try to find a different bank, because we have organization now.
So our banker came in and he did look at the software, and he did not have one negative thing to say. He absolutely loved it. He's a big spreadsheet guy. He makes me a little crazy when he puts the spreadsheets together because it makes my head hurt. But he was very impressed with the software, I thought, didn't you?
Yes.
For using this software, I think there was a lot more stress within our marriage. I feel that we have a very solid marriage. We do work together, so that's, not always a typical dynamic. But I think just having this financial weight on your shoulders and just trying to think of okay, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna move through each quarter? How are we just gonna, get out of this heavy debt load that we have? You are always, we'll figure it out, it will be fine. But in farming is the craziest industry that anyone's ever done. It's nuts. You have so little control over commodity prices. You can have the best financial plan and that can, not work out the way that you had planned. So there are things that we can control and things that we can't. Getting everything very organized, I know for me, has made me sleep a lot better at night. I have been a lot more diligent about getting things into the computer. I used to dread reconciling the checkbook. It's my least favorite thing to do. But now it's okay, let's get this done so we can get it into farmer metrics so we can continue to look at our bigger picture. I think you've been a lot more involved in the office.
I'm just an office guy now.
Our onboarding experience with Legacy Farmer, I think, has really been top notch, from just getting the meeting scheduled to getting linked up with Tyler to doing you love those weekly calls.
Yes.
He's on those all the time. Tyler has been super accessible, getting meetings scheduled, very responsive. Meeting Lance, who brings a different twist to things, has been great. That was a great hire. I don't know who decided that, but that was a good one. So I would say overall, I never felt I don't know what we're doing. I don't know how to use this. He's input all the data, which has been great.
Oh, I think it was very simple for a farmer that I like to farm. I don't like to do bookwork. It was easy enough to understand and go through and figure it out to make it so it's not another stress in my life to do it. So you can figure it out real easy by yourself. I like it because you get the whole aspect of what other people are doing in different areas. I mean, we're in New York. Our area is small fields, snow, wind, cold, wet,
A lot of
everything, a lot of regulations. And then you hear these from other places and you feel like you're not alone. But, there's some of these farms are a huge difference than what we are, a lot larger. We think we're a big farm in New York, but we're really not. But it gives you a whole different aspect of what really goes on in the world and how other people are doing it and how people are getting through the same problems that we are, which are uncontrollable problems, which are prices and everything else, and gives you that little bit of confidence to maybe push the bank and, hey, have you ever heard of this story or how this worked, or other, even fertilizer companies or any of that stuff, whatever it is. And I've watched quite a few of them now, and they definitely have helped that hour and a half that it takes. Or, it's worth every penny of it when it comes to the actual detail and the experience that you get out of it or from others,
Well, the topic selections too. I mean, so ARC, PLC.
Yeah, I mean, they give you more information about programs. The FSA office, you go over there, they don't know what the heck they're talking about. 9 times out of 10, you're hearing about these programs before they are,
right.
And they have no clue what to even tell you. Oh, well, all the other farmers are doing this. Well, I'm not all the other farmers. I'm my own. I want to know what fits this operation the best. So the other day of that call, I mean, I started looking at that. I'd actually asked for some papers from FSA to get to me so I can see what would be the better for for certain farms because not every farm is the same. So,
well, and I think too, being able to talk to other farmers that aren't your neighbor, because it's very competitive where we are, very cutthroat. People don't really work together. It's a tough climate where we are, with just overall competitive nature, and people don't really talk openly a lot about A, their struggles, or B, opportunities that are out there. So that's been really great to talk to other people who are willing to be open as well.
Benchmarking, which is a lot more a goal that I want to have this year, is putting a benchmark and getting the goal set. All that really helps forward think your next decision, I guess, and helps with all that.
Well, my thought is, just really having a much stronger handle on the debits and credits and your big picture, and having it not be this annual event. I mean, that part, just being able to look at farmer metrics and see, okay, we were close to our projections, or we were way off. And if we're way off, what are we going to do to mitigate that? And we're not waiting 365 days to mitigate it.
Yeah.
So we're making, I think, better informed real-time decisions versus huge financial decisions on kind of old data, really.
Yeah, and the comparison from year to year and month to month is going to be extremely helpful.
We would say for somebody that's on the fence of joining Legacy Farmer is do it. You will not regret it. I was a little on the fence because of the financial component of it. It is worth its weight in gold. I mean, I don't stress about that payment every month. I don't. I think it's money well spent. I think it's been great for the business. I think it's been great for our marriage. I do think that it's important to do the coaching part of it, because if you're not going to set it up properly from the get-go, you're not going to see the benefits that the program has. So if you're able to do the coach, I would really recommend doing it.
Yeah, and you don't have to do the coach, it sounds like, for
forever.
a year.
Right.
But if you get this structure going and you get things in place, maybe you don't have to pay that large, but I think the first year or two, it's definitely wise. And then for the extra support on financial decisions, it's worth its weight in gold for us.
Yeah.
Because we are a unique situation on some aspects. We have multiple entities, and that's a lot of things, different things going on, very diversified. And with that diversification, it comes a lot of bookwork and paperwork and understanding where money's coming from, what's going on. It really helped organize into a group where we can look at the whole picture. Not look at a QuickBooks and say, yeah, this is what this was, but what about the other business, or what about the next business?
Right.
It's definitely well worth it.